So let's go to Bob questions because we got to do health. I don't want to do COVID, so let's just do something else. And I didn't really know what to come up with, but I saw literally that's the extent of my notes, folks. It's literally that much. I throw it to Bob. I literally don't know. I read the story in the headline. I was like, huh? So places are going to create, if they haven't already, or I don't understand. Anyway, genetically modified mosquitoes are going to be released. They mentioned Florida and Texas. That's my stomping ground. What kind of mosquitoes are going to be attacking me now, Bob?
They won't. That's the point. They won't be attacking you. That's the whole point.
How do we have genetically modified mosquitoes?
Well, there's a company in Britain called Oxitec. And for about a decade now, they've been working on adding a self-limiting gene into the male mosquitoes in the laboratory. And for the past 5 years or so, they had permission to release them in Brazil, Cayman Islands, Malaysia, some other places. And they saw that the mosquito population dropped dramatically. The Aedes mosquito, this mosquito can carry dengue fever, Zika, chikungunya, yellow fever, some very dangerous diseases.
Malaria?
Right? No.
Okay.
That's Anopheles.
Okay. I'm asking. Some of you guys might ask.
Just in case. And so that was the plan. So they developed these mosquitoes, and then they would release it into the population. What does a male mosquito want when he gets out in the population?
He wants to eat and find a girl mosquito.
He wants a girl mosquito, and they mate. And what happens is the female mosquito will start having offspring. Well, this lethal gene that's inputted will kill all the offspring, about 95% plus of them. So, in theory, it's very effective. Then they've done a more updated version of this mosquito where the offspring will only kill, or the gene will only kill the female offspring. So the males will continue, and these males can continue to, generation after generation, go ahead and do that to more female mosquitoes. So it's, in theory, it's very effective. Brazil saw 96% decrease in Aedes aegypti mosquitoes, which is a big deal since Brazil is overrun with mosquito-borne diseases. So Oxitec has been trying to get this genetically modified mosquito in the Key West area. No, it's Key Haven, I believe it is, in Monroe County for years. And EPA would always keep on saying nay. Well, a month ago they said...
I taught him nay, by the way.
Yeah. About a month ago, the EPA said, okay, let's do it. Now, it still has to go through a couple layers of bureaucracy. It has to go through the Florida Keys mosquito control, which is one of the preeminent mosquito controls in the country, just based on their location. And it has to go through the state of Florida also. So there's some debate about whether this should still go on. And a lot of this debate was brought up in a study from last fall from a Yale professor who said that that small percentage of offspring that survive are still carrying around this trans gene, and it can cause a lot. He says, without any data, mind you, says it could cause a more dangerous hybrid, more able to transmit infectious diseases, more resistant to pesticides.
So it's just a theory or a hypothesis. We have no way of knowing.
It's an assumption, and he was even criticized not only by Oxitec, the company, who blasted him right away, and actually went to the scientific journal and said, hey, we got to do something about, at least put a comment or something. But also there was a bunch of scientists, insect experts.
Like yourself.
Not an insect expert, but yeah.
Worm and germs.
Yeah.
All right.
And a lot of them have come out and said, yeah, that he just went way too far. These are all assumptions, that he brought no data to the table. So we'll see where it goes, because of that study, though, that gave more fodder to the environmental groups. But it's, as far as I can see, it's not backed up by anything.
What are some of the negatives about actually doing this? I mean, what negatives have you seen, or you could theorize that actually we think there could be negatives?
Theorize is the unknown, because you're dealing with the environment.
So we are in unknown territory of negative consequences.
Right, because remember all the stuff, them creating these transgenic mosquitoes was done in a laboratory, but in Brazil, they've released about 1 billion mosquitoes so far around the world.
1 billion mosquitoes?
1 billion mosquitoes between those countries.
How far can a mosquito go?
Not very far.
Okay.
And their lifespan is relatively short.
Well, I don't know if we got mosquitoes that were left in Brazil and they're somewhere else by now. I don't know. Just
Well,
curious.
I mean, the Aedes aegypti mosquito, which is a concern down in the Key West, are the Keys because even the Florida Keys mosquito control people said, and they're totally for this, is the pesticides and insecticides we have, they're resistant to them now.
Great.
We're out of options.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Now, how did that mosquito is not native to this country, so obviously it found its way via airplane or whatever.
Yeah.
So, so there is that unknown, but nobody's really proven anything, in my view. Anything.
Do you think Texas or Florida will win to get it first? Who gets the genetic hybrid mosquito first?
We'll be starting probably this summer. Houston will probably be next year.
All right.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Genetically modified mosquitoes coming to the U.S.
And what's interesting is when you hear genetically modified, there's always going to be a resistance, right?
It sounds a little scary.
We
feel like you're watching Jurassic Park or something. Michael Crichton warned us of making crazy creatures in a lab.
Pops on pop culture.
Well, you just don't know. I mean,
it's unknown.
But we've already had a case study, right? We already have Brazil, 1 billion mosquitoes. We didn't release 30. We released 1 billion mosquitoes.
Yeah.
Brazil still exists. They're fine. Things are going on.
And
what positive does a mosquito bring to the environment, the ecosystems? Are they only a parasite?
Well, it's the female that we're concerned about because that's the one that has to suck blood.
Yeah.
In order to fertilize.
But what benefit do they represent in the ecosystem at all? Do you know?
None that I'm aware of. Okay. It's like mosquitoes are essentially the largest killer on the planet.
Right.
If you add up all the numbers. And the male mosquito is harmless.
He's an eater breeder, man.
Yeah.
He's got to eat everything.
He goes find a little nectar, go find a lady.
Yep.
And that's what he does.
Life is a mosquito. Genetically versions of that guy coming to Florida and Texas soon. All right, news talk. Hope you enjoy. Subscribe, like, share, all that stuff. I'm not going to say all the crazy stuff. You know the drill. Hey, we're News Talk.